Team ban. Vega squadrons turn to ban. Radiant team pick.
Invoker.
Vega squadrons turn to pick.
Earth Spirit, I speak for the trees.
Radiant team pick.
Hello everyone and welcome back to coverage of Dota Pit Season 4 of wonderful tournament. Let's get into the game. Vega versus 99%. If you don't know how to read Croatian, that's the reason why you probably can't understand the name, because that's what it's written in. Luckily a man that can't as well. I'll say luckily, unluckily, is my co-caster. I was stuck with him, so we have to keep again. Sreer, welcome back, man.
I mean, that's a good thing, right? Would you rather not be able to read, or would you rather sound like Toby, guys? So, I don't know, which is worse.
Both come hand in hand, man.
I mean, I'd rather not be able to see text, but, I don't know.
Radiant team ban.
Okay, so...
Where you at, Toby? Where you at? Come on, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
You want to throw down? You want you? I would lose. I can't fight Matt Damon. Spirit and Nature's Prophet for Vega. The Ebola is real.
Don't cough again.
Reserve time.
Unsightly. Didn't you have two unsightly things?
Just 'cause.
That's what everybody was spamming in the chat though when did it, like Ebola.
Of course they would. Any level of sickness is just instantly Ebola. Did you not see No-Tail? He had Ebola at MDL.
Yeah. Geez.
There were so many people masked up at that event.
China's just, you have to be masked up though, like the pollution.
Hey Matt, I've walked around China. Like I've been to China now 4 times. 2 of those trips were over a week long, and I had no problems whatsoever. Didn't have to wear a mask. I got a little sick once, but that was because of food poisoning. That was a very different situation. We ate at a classic Chinese restaurant. Classic being the key word. The biggest thing I can say to you, if you're going to China, and someone says, we're gonna go to an authentic Chinese restaurant.
10 seconds
and then you have to walk up 4 flights of stairs into this place which just looks like it's built in a loft. And you actually walk past the goat that you're going to eat later that day. This is not the restaurant for you. Had a very, very rough day on the bung the next day.
That was a nice outhouse you went to. I wonder how...
It was 40-degree heat and there was 3 portaloos. And only 3 portaloos. It was bad.
Reserve time.
It was so bad. I'm actually just cringing thinking of it now.
Toby.
Yeah.
Okay, you survived to tell the tale. That's why you're here right now. We all have to put up with the Toby.
Can you talk about the draft? Because I really want to get my mind off passing out in the portaloo.
I'm just letting Toby have free reign again.
No,
all right.
I want distraction. Treat me like a child. Shake a rattle in front of me so I stop thinking about things.
Alright, well, we got a new hero in Dota. That's Leshrac now being picked up. We also have Nature's Prophet and Earth Spirit, obviously been talked about for Vegas Squadron. And we have Invoker and Oracle for 99%. So Leshrac here, I mean, this hero could fit in the metagame right now because of how much the Edict can help in the pushing. It also can do really well against Invoker, I think. If you can spam up the lightning,
10
a lot of the
seconds
time split
remaining.
Earth. I think it can dominate an Invoker in lane, so I'm really
5
curious to see
seconds
how he's going to
remaining.
do. Obviously, the Pulse Nova didn't get changed, and it's super strong still. It can dish
Reserve
out
time.
a ton of damage, and it has a low mana cost still from the pulses, so it's only 20 mana per second still at the level 1, so it does a lot. Interesting to see if it's going to be put in the mid roll or where it's going, right? We've seen a Nature's Prophet core. I have no idea what to think of that. As of today, it won. Arteezy, it didn't, so...
It's difficult to say when you also have Mag on your lineup, who's a fantastic Nature's Prophet player. So you would turn your mind to say, hey, maybe...
Then Pasha would get maybe aggressive. Maybe they'll go aggro. Earth Spirit plus Lesh mid seems... Oh,
what is this classicness? The Shadow Demon,
Shadow-
Disruption in Split Earth Stun. So old school. The only thing we're missing right now is the Invoker to Sunstrike into that, but he's on the other team.
Marana. Get that Marana. That's even more setup. I've been seeing that a lot in the South American Dota. They do Shadow Demon plus Potom a lot, and it works out. They get a lot of kills done
10
around the map,
seconds
and
remaining.
it has some pretty good synergy. Pudge though, oh my
5
goodness.
seconds remaining.
Where to begin with this hero? This is my favorite hero, and I still don't think it's strong enough
Reserve
competitive
time.
play because he does not offer you that much in laning phase, and
Vega
their
Squadron.
laning phase is
Turn
so
to
weak
ban.
already, and they're picking up a Spectre.
This is them wondering, okay, how do we deal with the Nature's Prophet? Like
This is
that's
so
gotta be it.
greedy.
Like, they needed
Oh
something.
my-
They needed something that was global, or they had to go across Wax build on the Invoker to gank the Nature's Prophet.
10 seconds
That was
remaining.
pretty much it. I also just looked back through the patch.
5 seconds
See
remaining.
like who has played what. Now, it's not a hidden thing
Reserve time.
from Vega. It just doesn't exist. There's no record of Vega playing this in a ranked game for this patch. But I can tell you that the Lesh has played 11 games and is currently 6 wins and 5 losses being played.
I think in this game though, Lesh can get so much done.
Radiant
They have the
team ban.
most greedy draft I've ever seen. Invoker obviously can get
Vega
superly
Squadrons turn
or
to play.
heavily punished right now because of the Earth Spirit roaming, as well as Nature Prophet can come in over the top. You have a Pudge and a Spectre. Obviously, Pudge's weaknesses are his laning phase, and so is Spectre. In a sense, I'm just wondering what Vega want to do in this situation. They can put Lesh mid and Earth Spirit roaming around. It's a good hero to really take it here. I like the Sven ban out coming from 99%. That could have been a really
10
good hero to
seconds
cleave through
remaining.
all of 99%. What else to really get on top? Honestly,
5
they could pick
seconds remaining.
Slurk here. Not that many things to really hinder him, but how aggressive do they want to
Reserve
play
time.
is the question. Could even go back for an Ursa, stir up those easy Roches, and then just keep blinking on top of the spear and wrecking her.
That could work, unless you're thinking about like the pure damage against the Pudge. Like if this Pudge is run as an offlaner, as a core, and he starts getting momentum on him, the help of the Oracle can be very difficult.
Yeah, he's gonna have to run probably in the offline. Jenkins runs it in that situation. Oracle, they can still go back for. There's no more junglers. I really love that Enchantress ban coming out from Vega.
Just go laning. Like you talk about them being greedy. Like what if you get something more like a Dazzle?
Radiant
Or-
team
Dazzle, yeah, Dazzle or Witch Doctor.
Yeah, that'll work. Because I'm just thinking like Charlotte Grave on that front. You could potentially try and zone out lanes by picking up something like a Baden, which
They might
also
have-
gives you that protection to work with the Oracle.
If they have too much defensive stuff, then I worry that they don't have enough offensive abilities,
Yeah,
right?
true.
Then it'll become like last game where all of your initiations on Mitch, and sure you don't need initiation all the time if you're barreling down towers, but once you become far behind in the game, you really need to have it. And this game they have Nyx Assassin. Looks like it will be played in the offlane. Obviously, Lacoste is your support here, so interesting to see how well the Pudge will do in this situation, because it's like Pudge roam versus Earth Spirit roam, and we're gonna have to see who does it better.
I'm just thinking if he gets that hook on mid lane, that's kind of like a guaranteed kill. No one's gonna.
It could be Morphling mid. It could still be mid. No, yeah, Morphling mid,
You
and
have
then
Morph mid?
10 seconds
yeah,
remaining.
and then you just put Shadow Demon Lesh on the top lane, or even go.
5 seconds remaining.
You
I was wondering if you actually go aggro, like you leave Prophet on the top. If you are going to play the Morphling mid, I also find this really ironic after we talked about this earlier today.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm right. No,
where,
I'm just kidding.
where you actually put the Morphling mid, the Prophet on the top lane, and then with the SD, Lesh, and ES, you run an off lane. It's very aggressive, and as we kind of like already established, 99% do have a very greedy draft. But if you do this, then you guarantee that next Assassin's going to hit his level 6 at a decent time. Potentially, you could get hooked out of position, and your aggressive tri lane could be turned to ass. Especially with like an Exort first Invoker. What we actually get from him, he doesn't.
Yeah, Invoker should definitely go Exort in this game.
He didn't do anything. He actually uses Invoke.
He'll go Exort.
Yeah,
He has to be.
But like, if you're gonna go Exort, normally you do the Sunstrike search.
Could still go for. I think against a Morphling, you want to go for the Alacrity build early on, and you don't really need to have your Forge Spirits up. Just putting as much pressure as you can is pretty good. He can go either way. I don't think this is a Quas Wex game. As I say that, though,
It's the fact that he hasn't leveled anything up and they're all grouping up like this. An Exalt wouldn't allow you to like help get a kill where Cold Snap would. So getting something like Quas then would help.
they just know Vega is going to be
30
invading their
seconds to
jungle. I'm really curious as why they're staying over here.
Yeah,
I know
it seems like a really like maybe you think about the tree and scouting area. Like
Yeah,
a tree won't scout past this point. It just dies to a tower, so it makes no sense.
that's nice hiding from the tree, like you said. That's Toby's right for once, guys. Pretty good heads up play.
God damn it!
The battle
You know what?
begins.
I know. Even if I hit like a stable 6K, like jack crap is gonna happen to my reputation about knowing Dota. It's. I'll say one stupid mother thing. Just everything just falls apart. Like that's gonna happen.
That's the worst part, right? You could be right 99% of the time, but that 1%.
Oh, Mitch, really getting pounded on this bottom lane. He's only got the tangos. Luckily for him, it's like his health regen is nice, but he got another disruption available. They could have potentially gone for a disruption into another boulder smash, but they decided against it. Lacoste is waiting for his hook line. He actually hasn't skilled a hook. He might be waiting to see if the Fortune's End is going to connect properly, and then yeah, he's actually then levels up Rot. But it didn't catch Mag out of position. So now you've got a level 1 Rot on a punch, and he can't really do much with this. But middle lane, Vega can do a lot more. They initiate on the Invoker, he went for the Quas Exalt build, and now First Blood is built. It goes the way of no one. The mid Morphling's back, Ryu.
It really is. I mean, this is what happens when you can just roam around all the time with Earth Spirit. You just punish greedy heroes. We saw Zeus get punished hard earlier. Doesn't have ways out. And Invoker is the same way. You have to go Quaswex, and then you have to go into the Ghost Walk, and then they obviously realize he's going to Exort, so they don't need Dust or Sentries. Morphling can punish, though. If he does play too aggressive here, and waveforms could catch him out.
Here they go. But they ball over, they go after Lacoste. He's still got potential rot denial. Disruption again, you don't have your roll yet from solo, but you got the waveform from no one, and that'll do the work. Go for the Fortune's End, Sunstrike, and only connects onto the Earth Spirit. The Shadow Demon just wants to get a little bit of space here, and he's gonna get it. We'll salve up nice and quick. Morphling waveforms over, chasing after Millen.
What have we here?
And no one, he's just a little bit too far away, and Millen also gets a little bit lucky. Consumes the Fairy Fire, and then grabs the Invis Rune. Instantly flags the fact that he wants to go for a kill somewhere else. And Mag plays defensive because of this.
Is Mag gonna get caught out here is the question.
He should. They don't know it was an Invis Rune. I don't think they actually had vision
DP,
of that.
bro.
Sunstrike's got him. Like, it gives just enough damage.
Bottom lane though.
The job.
Going on mid here. They got a level 2 edict. Ooh, didn't want to go for it. It would have split between the towers, so still had stun up too.
If you had something else from the Earth Spirit, then maybe. But
Yep.
Solo is basically out of mana.
Mag's back, baby. Ninja needs to go back to base. Yeah, they don't. I don't know. Doesn't have any claret or salves in his inventory. Neither does Lacoste here on the Pudge. They don't have any way to kill him though. Who's rotating up? Milan. So yeah, it should be fine still. Where are you going, Solo? All eyes on you. So far, they've successfully killed mid twice.
At least he TP to the far left-hand side of that tier 1 tower. He doesn't get revealed by the Observer Ward because he did that. So if they do go on Mag, Solo can have an impact. And Milan's actually... they're hoping that someone's going to do something. But it's so defensive. Okay, now Solo. Having a crack. The dire creep wave's in the way, however, so Lacoste can't instantly provide support until Solo tries to go on the retreat. But Mag moves over, he retreats in a position where Solo wasn't able to get hooked instantly by Lacoste. But now, with the ball away, Lacoste is up and safe. Just really good positioning. And on bottom lane, Asha, Edge, Carl, Spike Carapace only stops the initial part of that damage. That's a very simple combo.
Oh, mid lane got a haste rune already on no one. Cole could be in trouble here.
He can just pop his Ghost Walk, so he should be okay. He doesn't want to have to.
Right. Pressuring him back, still a good play. Oh, there's the Purge.
It's like they're trying to bait no one to waveform out so they can go for the hook. Like the 4-minute rune is still sitting up on top, so no one should be looking to pick that out. He does that, then Lacoste will just hook him.
Still haven't seen the effectiveness of Pudge, but normally this is when a Pudge comes online. It's got to be right now. 4 to 8 minute window. All kick, miss, roll. Well played there from Ninja, dodging potentially a bullet. Mag does not have his ulti though, so I still think he would have lived.
Oh, the headwind said you haven't felt the effectiveness of the Pudge. Like, he's just under level 2, just under level 3, sorry. So I can understand, like, he's meant to be that fearfulness in the lane, but you've got Vega with the top 3 net worths on the field. They've got easy ways to bring in more support if they gank any other lane but top. Even then, Solo's probably going to cause a large amount of issues for you on that Earth Spirit. Like, where he's standing right now, he breaks a smoke on Lacoste. A very late reaction from him, however. It is nighttime, but the Sunstrike will connect. Mag throws out the ulti. Lacoste doesn't use his hook yet. And now, they get in range, they go for a little bit of a rot. Spectral Haunt's able to see inside the Sprout, making sure that Mag isn't just TPing himself away to safety. And Mitch will now look for the guaranteed stun to get the kill. He was waiting for it. It's the fact that the new Prophet was like completely stopped moving.
So, other end of the map, Pasha's trading off the tier 1 tower. You still have Morphling free farming, and then now he has eyes. Spectre used her ulti, so that's a big waste, honestly. You need that all the time so she can come to the team fight. She's saving 1,300 here. I think sometimes you want Pudge to go earn, but in this case, Spectre I think has to go for it. Maybe she's saving for a drums, but this is one of those games that you're going to have to fight early and often.
If you're going greedy though, like, do you just not go directly in for the Radiance?
I don't agree with that. He needs a magic wand. He also could use phase, something just to keep him alive.
But it's a read lineup. And the Urn's probably going to be bought by Lacoste anyway. I'm wondering if they just go full greed. I agree with you with the item build. Like, it would make a lot more sense, and every single Spectre in the current meta is doing that. Building in for the Urn and being that early aggressor.
They got
Now,
him.
they go for a kill, and goodbye Spectre. If you were going to buy something and you got 1600 gold, you would have done it then. Like, and he buys phase boots now. But it's a little bit too late. You've lost a lot of your gold. There's no one getting very deep in there on Cole.
Radiant's top tower
He doesn't have
is under
waveform
attack.
up just yet. In fact, he's burnt most of his mana just to strength morph up to 1700. And he can't get the space to get the bottle charges up because Lacoste is just running from behind. Now Solo
Mag,
provide
correct.
that space. The Invoker is down. Mag arriving at just the perfect time. Rounds over on Millen. They hook in onto the Lashrak, but for the Spectral Haunt, they're trying to find this one up. You're going to have that disruption, just buying a little bit of space there for Pasture. It's an Nature's Prophet. Mag has picked himself up a triple kill with a follow-up stun and into kick over on Ninja. They may find this kill. 2 poison stacks. Can he get the third off? Because if he can do that, this Spectre, what level poison is that? It's level 2. I don't think he pops from this, but it's going to be close.
If he had done it
Radiant's
right
bottom
with the
tower
Soul
is under
Catcher,
attack.
yeah, maybe would have been enough. Mid lane though, no one.
He's going to 1 second. Best just arrived as well. In fact, he can just kill off the Invoker. He's going to help to create a little bit more space, trying to kill off that mid-tier 1 tower, so there's no more damage from that no one. He is just, like, he did everything he possibly could. All charge to the strength morph to just whatever he could. And Mag is now also body blocking with the Treants. Yeah, missed a little bit on his micro there of his primary hero, so he could have been attacking, but he didn't. But he's just going to Wrath of Nature to ensure the kill.
This is, yeah, now Ninja's going back for the urn, which he could have had a little while ago, and then potentially could have used it during the team fight. It's just not looking good when you pick these greedy heroes. Pudge is not going to do enough. Mitch misses stun too on a stun. Oh, there we go. Hook. Oh, there we go.
Teamer going to be able to defensively disruption himself. So he'll lose his life, the Invoker with the Sunstrike doing the work there, but Mitch, he's the sacrifice. In fact, you get the disruption off, Vega's able to reposition. We've already done significant damage to that mid-tier 2 tower. Because the high point's up in Pasha's Edict, they're able to force down these buildings so quickly. And this Morphling, this is the most early game effective Morphling I've seen in a very long time. Even with the older Morphlings, it was safe lane Morphling, and it was just sit, farm, come out when you got Manta.
They're putting so much pressure on with the Edict coming in from Pasha. It's really nice to see just a throwback here to able to push down towers effectively. They already got the tier 2 tower mid and
bottom lane. Watch for Ninja to go into the tree. Solo needs to go for the kick, and here it comes. Spectre, say goodbye to your TP. Does he really want to pop Spectral Haunt for this? And the answer is most definitely no. He's going to die anyway.
he just wasted 200 gold though. He lost 250 for nothing. Well, he could have bought a TP and a wand. He already has a wand. Anyway.
Could have bought another TP. Mitch moving very aggressively down to the bottom lane. It's a matter of time before they start carrying around some some sentries. Actually, they've got the sentries, maybe even a gem.
It's really deceptive what they tried to do just then. Like they tried to burst down Mag. It looks like he's really low because he's on half HP, but he has drums and he has a point booster. So what makes it look like he only has, you know, at the end of the day, it looked like he had maybe about 400. Instead, he had about like 600 or something along those lines, and definitely not enough to burst. What level is the Sunstrike? Only level 3. Okay.
This Invoker is so far behind, primarily just for experience gained. That's the reason why, like Invokers normally are behind in experience. They need to be just they need to be smarter than the average bear. That's why you always build the Hand of Midas, but you're looking at a 12-minute Midas pickup on this Invoker. Taking just a little bit too long.
Yeah, when I said earlier this probably wasn't a Quaz-Wex game, it actually was. Because their lineup is so greedy, they need somebody to create space, and it's not going to be the Nyx Assassin as much because he got shut down bottom. Solo's going to get hunted, but I don't look like you're going to make anything happen here. And
that was the smoke break too. And then Solo as well as Seema, they smoke up themselves. Their smoke will break and they're going to realize that Mitch is right on top of them. That's now the Spectre. Nice double stun by Mitch, allowing Seema to die in the back lines, but Lacoste being hunted down by the Morphling with a waveform forward, and Mag's ulti bouncing around the map. Well, you thought the Magnetize is going to work. The Edict damage is out, and you're going to lose a lot of 99% right now. In fact, almost 100% of them. Ninja's going to pop. And the Invoker, the sole survivor. Back very, very shallowy in their mid lane.
That was the most perfect engage they could had from 99%, and then it all still went wrong. Obviously, Invoker's not there, so he couldn't do much. All Invoker does right now is gonna die to Pasha, but
See if he can get the stun. Oh, okay, he got the stun.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
it's level 4, man. That's
And your spark.
got a huge radius hit.
And he's gonna get his Bloodstone pretty early too. I'm assuming that's his item cost here instead of the Aghanims.
You could maybe get away with Ags because you have a Soul Ring, but it's not worth it. You're getting so much pressure on the lanes, and then you're getting a lot of kills already. No one?
Here comes your ball.
Pasha?
They go after Ninja. But yeah, Pasha. He got left behind, really. It's like they weren't expecting there to be a lot of support behind. Solo's also going to die of this Spectre. Really big money coming in for him. And now with the Spectral Dagger, they can chase after Mag. There's multiple chases going on. Mag will be able to TP himself out. Demon just trying to juke around Mitch. He still has to walk into that very narrow choke point, which allows for that stun from the next assassin to connect. And 3 heroes lost for Vega.
Yeah, that's level 6 for Lacoste finally, and that's pretty good turnaround. And that gives 1,500 gold up to Ninja now, and they play way too aggressive. This is where you can see the Leshrac starting to be a burden against the Nyx assassin. Just one good mana burn. It's level 2 now, and it takes away at least, you know, half of his HP, if not 1/4. Ninja, though, playing way too aggressive. The Edict, though.
It's a hard time for him, but with the help of the Oracle, he's able to stand his ground. Leshrac actually quite low. Ninja did not drop that far after the Oracle jumped in, and
is under attack.
well, they could have potentially killed off Pasha then.
I mean, Fate's Edict is just the counter to Leshrac in this game. You just pop that, take no magic damage, and then you can, once physical damage starts coming in, you use False Promise. And because he's leveling up Fate's Edict, it's going to have lower cooldown. So once it comes back up, you can hopefully put that back on with the False Promise and heal your ally up during it. So
They're definitely not looking, though, like, Vega's perspective. Like, Pasha is not the killer of anyone. If they walk into it and they don't have the protection of the Oracle, sure, not a problem at all. But you got a Nature's Prophet and a Morphling. These guys are bringing enough damage. I was questioning, like, with our earlier game from Na'Vi if there would be enough damage on a Nature's Prophet, and this build from Mag is, like, it's kind of the opposite of what we saw earlier today. So maybe he's not your big damage dealer, but with the Aghanim's Wrath of Nature, like, you're kind of already giving in a large portion of damage across all of 99%, and his split push is going to give him so much money that he's going to get his big, like, DPS item anyway. I'd actually almost prefer to see him pick up something like a Desolator and force out the side lanes, like the buildings of the side lanes, not just push, like, take out buildings.
I put him a Yolner on Morphling. It seems very scary too, or even the Lesh. Yeah, as long as they just get a BKB and
Radiant's
on the
bottom
Lesh,
tower is
he's
under
gonna be
attack.
immortal. He's gonna be a god.
Steven just got denied. I have to
Where did he
already
go?
set that up. The pause just happened.
Solo.
Solo, he's got no escape mechanism from this. So it's a simple rot for Lacoste to get the kill, but no one answers back after killing off Mitch. They had the stomp coming over. It was the Hellbear and the Centaur that moved over, and he got stomped and then clapped. And then punched down, so the Shadow Demon ended up dying to that.
Well, because Pasha didn't go for anything in Lightning here, he has to land all of his stuns kind of secretly, it seems like. Or he needs to set up for the Shadow Demon, which hasn't been happening that much this game. He's just been rotating around here for the side of Seema. I'm curious to see.
Welcome Hook Range.
Is it there?
Ether lens
Oh,
is
yeah.
up. The lens is up, so
Warriors of the
it's gonna be
wood.
very difficult for Vega to not get caught out of position by these hooks. So I'm looking to see the tree micro of Mag to block that.
At the same time, I think Etherlens, when it was nerfed, the magic resistance, it hurt Pudge the most. Because he really needs to have a cloak or something on his side. Because, yeah, the rot killing yourself, it hurts a lot. Obviously, Etherlens is still a very powerful item for the hook and the dismember range. But still, I think it hurt him the most for the magic resistance.
damage here, Mitch. With the Sunstrike, okay, where with Spectre coming in, most definitely they do. And reveals the fact that Vega, they were going in for Roshan. The hook came in, dragging back out of the pit, but the Magnetize turns on, and Ninja, he's too deep for this one, but false promise. Millen's gonna keep him alive. They may lose the punch, no one's hanging around. He wants to wait for him at the perfect time. He'll just physically attack down that Oracle. As the Invoker revealed, oh, that just striked on the way through. Invoker's gonna go down as well. That goes beyond godlike, and they can go back to taking out Roshan. Spectre and Nyx are in no position to contest this.
Yep, there was Nyx Assassin not really being there. He's a really big contribution to their team fights with the mana burn. They obviously killed the Lesh first, so it's a 4v4 situation, but there's no way they can kill no one. He's immortal. Mag getting not dying there as well. Nice setup from Sima. Disruptions all around, and yeah, it just seems like Vega can just keep sitting back and they're just gonna steadily outfarm Vega. I guess the biggest question is if Ninja can get a Radiance, and if he does, will it be the game changer? Because that's the only thing right now that I can see.
He's getting caught out though. Like when he gets closer and closer, having the money for it. Like, he's gone back about at 900 gold in the last 3 minutes. Like, and when your Spectre's going backwards when farming for a Radiance, you understand there's a problem.
He's still the highest net worth on his team though, so...
True, but that's still almost half the net worth of Nature's Prophet.
I'm trying to look at the good side, Toby. The good side.
I'm sorry, I'm mere realistic right now. I'm looking at 2.5k gold over on this Nature's Prophet. Wondering what item he goes for next. And a Morphling that's already completed a Lincoln Sphere. So that initial catch, stun, or damage onto the Morph just... It may not even exist anymore.
Mag going for a BKB himself wouldn't be too bad. What did he buy though? Always a good... Link? Hey.
Doesn't make as much sense to get a second Lincoln.
The Refresher?
There's not that many items. Like, Refresher could be it. You're looking at a huge amount of damage. I don't know, like, there's not much point getting a Lotus Orb. There's little point getting a Battle Fury.
Yeah. I'm not seeing the Lotus Orb, the Lincolns really working out. I guess you could say the Lincolns will be good for putting on Pasha, maybe so he doesn't get mana burned all the time, but...
That's it. That's all you're really blocking, right?
You're blocking some spells from the Invoker, the Cold Snap, but that's the only one. Dismember.
It has to be refreshed. Like, they double ulti for a fight, and that's it.
We've had this discussion before, with Ags already. Yeah,
we did.
We had this one, I remember. Oh.
I can't remember who was right in that discussion.
It was like, I talked about when you put the wards up on the map, how they have to have vision of the camps, right? For Vega. Let's see, do they have vision of camps so that they can hit more? Oh, Snitch is correct.
With the hook up, Lacoste then just reveals himself. That bloody disruption from Sima. He keeps escaping from fights by doing this. They hook him up, but the Dismember doesn't come fast enough. So Sima just ends up surviving. And he got healed up. Like, Oracle, Millen tried to nuke him down, but now Sima's actually getting more life for all the effort. And Millen pops. The double kill for Mag. More money just keeps flooding into this damn Prophet. He's 11-2-6, 20 minutes in.
Ninja, he's already used. Oh, he's dead.
Okay, just he has to buy something else. Like, he's never gonna reach the Radiance at this point.
She had the Manta style. That's probably that is the best item substitute. Putting all the pure damage onto your images here for the Desolate.
Yeah, he just did too. He picked up the Yasha.
He knows it's way too late. They're just gonna lose the game if they don't have a good contribution here. Mitch, they have Mag. This is a huge spree.
If they can get him. Down he goes, or can he? 8 1 charges are still available. He can technically sprout and TP himself out. He still hasn't used these 1 charges, but he's gonna finish the TP. The hook will come against Sima. Defensive disruption. Solo being isolated by Mitch. They're gonna pick a target right now. The Purge goes off. The Invoker's gonna struggle to survive this with the Wrath of Nature kicking over. That was a refresher ulti from Bag. He'll arrive in for the sprout. The hook. It brings up one. Lacoste can find the kill. He'll still end up going down to Nature's Prophet's treants who were attacking him while he was rotting up. And more kills going the way of Mag. I can't believe he survived that.
Meanwhile, no one's in the bottom lane taking a range rep. No problems, guys, and killing
off
Ninja.
Ninja. He's got legacy model, so hey, why not? Like, if they really want to use, like, so many abilities on him, and the Prophet as well as the Leshrac will take out the top tower.
I think Vega just realized that they could pick more cores on their side and just outmaneuver the enemy team, and then come to this point where they're heavily out-farming them. That's what it seems like. They just outmaneuver them constantly. Nice miss.
Nice double stun. A little bit of miscommunication with the hook happening and Sunstrike missing. That allows Leshrac to deny himself on the back Bloodstone. Now SD, Disruption Catcher. Just keeping Oracle out of the fight until Solo can come in for the kick. But you're still losing your top racks. The treants are killing them off. You may kill off Seema once again. They're battling against the regeneration of the Oracle on that Shadow Demon. But the top melee racks was taken, and Prophet's now arriving on bottom. The range racks is down. He actually can't summon treants. Now he can do it finally. But you're battling in mid. Solo went back in again. But you're losing the split push. You've just lost both your side racks, and no one's on the hunt.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
No.
You only gets the adaptive strike off. He's about to lose his replicate as well. He doesn't jump to it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yep, he's not even going to finish his F-Blade before the game ends. Could have seen some good plays coming in from him. But looks to be the beginning of the end.
Radiant's middle tower.
There really is so little hope for 99% right now. Like, Vega are just systematically taking out all of the critical areas of the map. Nice hooks down by Lacoste. Actually splitting up Pasha. Seema comes in for the disruption. And you've still got that nice AoE damage coming in from Pasha until Invoker will finally end his spree. Unfortunately, he can't keep control up with a very short range tornado. Not catching out no one, now allowing him to fight. There's still that Ghost Scepter as well over on the Morphling. So he's able to just hold out the fight for a bit if he wants to. He's attacking into the melee ranks instead. And a little bit too much damage. Still 17 one charges, and looks like I didn't actually see his replicate up either. But they just keep fighting. It's the double kill for Mag. He's just doing his thing. The Nature's Prophet.
Middle barracks are under attack.
They're gonna go back, heal up. The melee rack, there's so many treants here.
Yeah, Dagon.
There's just no way they can survive. It's a level 3 Dagon. And the BTs that are actually, like, it's a Leshrac coming back to the fight. Solo goes for the final kick before he died. He'll fight back. This is it. This is Vega just ending it. They want to go, I think, for an early night, but it's like 1:30 in the morning over in Russia at the moment. And this game is over. GG.
Fudge fountain hooking. Run, boy. Ah!
Hiding slow. Does he want Seema? Yeah, they do. Coming out for the SD. At least they get him. Now they realize just how much damage that Leshrac can do. With a BKB to protect him, like, Morphling is the one getting the double kill. Cost. Pasha actually just ended up solo killing up Ninja.
They killed each other.
Was that the own kill. GG. Game is finally called. Vega will go 2-0. And they claim the maximum amount of points that was required for them during this game as well. It wouldn't have been enough to have a draw. Na'Vi had just created such a huge division in the teams for this group stage. Almost every other group stage has been so close. We've been staring down the barrel of having like 1 or 2 or 3-way ties between teams, but it's been a very interesting run.
They got brutalized this game, man.
They really did.
And last game, this game was worse for me in the sense that